Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syazwan bin Muhammad Zakiyuddin and I am the TESL 5 that will soon become the TESL 6 students. And today our slot is teaching practicum workshop on online teaching that will be, and the speech or the talk will be given by Dr. Yusnita. I will give you some brief introduction on Dr. Yusnita. Her full name is Dr. Yusnita Md Yunus. She is currently a school improvement specialist coaches plus English at Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah Kuala Terengganu. She is, I think, like a teacher trainer. Her past teaching experiences were SK Gong Kapas and SK Sultan Sulaiman I, and she was the Guru Cemerlang at both schools. She studied PhD in English Language Education (TESL) at University Sains Malaysia. She studied Bachelor in Education and Masters in Education in TESL at University Teknologi Mara (UiTM). And she studied Diploma Education at Maktab Perguruan Sultan Abdul Halim. And she went to SMKA Perempuan Al-Mashhur Pulau Pinang. And so I will assume that you are from Pulau Pinang, Doctor.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a Penangite.
Okay. Okay, without further ado, if you are ready, I would like.
Okay, I'm still waiting for the.
Doctor, are you like to share now? Because I've abled everyone.
Okay. I think you are able to share your slide now.
I cannot share my. Right?
Oh, so, do you see the share button, Dr. Yus?
Yeah, it's disabled. It is disabled. So
Still disabled. Okay.
Oh,
So
how weird. Okay. So sorry, hold on, let me check again.
okay.
So Dr. Yusnita, if I may ask, how long have you been working in Terengganu?
I have been here since 1994.
1994. That's quite long. You are like a native Terengganu already.
A native Terengganu. Oh, okay.
Have you learned the accent, the Terengganu accent?
I still like fail to learn, but I'm still learning.
Okay.
Okay. Let me transfer. I don't know why.
Doctor, can you try hiding your taskbar and then reopen it again?
Hiding my taskbar.
Control bar, sorry.
Control.
Okay. Okay. I have to allow the screen recording first.
Doctor, if you don't know how, I can share the slides for you. Do you think you could forward the slides to Dr. Shapa or something? And then I can share it for you.
To share, I can. It's quite big the file. I'm afraid that I cannot like transfer it easily. can I like join again? Let me fix this one first. Is it okay? Like,
Sure, doctor. Please don't worry. No worries.
Okay.
Or maybe you can try again right now because Dr. Shapa just assigned you to be a presenter. So could you try this one more time? And if that fails, then maybe you could come in and
I think I
back out.
have to, this is about my security and privacy. I need to do that first and then only I can do other stuff. Okay, I'll join again. I'll
All
join
right.
again.
Thank you, doctor. So sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone.
It's
Whose
okay.
voice is this that we are listening to?
Alpha. It's Alpha.
Father, Seychelles.
Okay.
It's Alpha, not Shafa. Okay?
Yeah.
By the way, so Hisham, may I ask,
Yes.
are you already finished your PhD?
No, I'm still doing it.
So you are still on study leave or what they call it?
No, I'm working while learning, you know?
Okay. What is your topic for your
Okay.
for your
Interested to know.
PhD thesis?
Well,
At
it's
least
not
what?
about. Okay. I think we can
Okay.
see it now.
Mm-mm.
Very nice. Where's Dr. Yus?
I think she is rejoining.
Oh, she has prepared a video about herself.
Yeah. But are we going to hear the sound?
Dr. Yus, are you okay over there?
Right, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
All right,
Yes.
finally. Okay, my goodness, I'm sitting everywhere. All right, okay, so shall I start?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is, I prepared the video so that I don't have to explain, but I think Shazwan has already, thank you very much, Shazwan, thank you very much for having me here with you guys. But even though Shazwan has already sharing about me, but I have already prepared this. It's just like 1 minute, so just like hopefully that this video can be seen by everyone. Okay, that's about it. All right. So I am going to continue with my presentation. Sorry. Okay. This slide. All right. Just to take your attention on this particular. Oh my goodness, this one has been like okay. Can you see the slide from there? Can you see the slide? All right. Okay. So I'm gonna.
It's clear.
Okay. I will just proceed with my presentation and my sharing. Okay. I always feel delighted when every time when I've been called by UNISA. This is my third time with UNISA for the practicum teachers. Okay, the future teachers, I believe. But this time is not a new. Right. Let's look at this one. The recent paper by Nathan Moyo. So everybody is showing their concern on what's going to happen, right? So here is in this particular articles, okay, he highlights about the practicum is a critical component in teacher education as it engenders professional transformation, reflection, and growth. The practicum being a practical undertaking in a classroom situation presented unique challenges. So let's see what we can do during this time, right? Okay. All right. So I want to, before I continue with the presentation, the rest of my slides. So let's look at what we have here. National education philosophy. Education in Malaysia is an ongoing effort towards further developing the potential of individuals in a holistic and integrated manner so as to produce individuals who are intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, and physically balanced and harmonic based on a firm belief in and devotion to God. Such an effort is designed to produce Malaysian citizens who are knowledgeable and competent, who possess high moral standards, and who are responsible and capable of achieving high level of personal well-being, as well as being able to contribute to the harmony and betterment of the family, the society, and the nation at large. All right. Why did I start by stressing on this national education philosophy? all right? Because you are going to be future teachers. You are going to be future teachers. You are going to schools. Our major concern is always about, like, teachers seems to forget this philosophy underlying the practice. So that's why it's very, very important to understand, all right? Okay, so let's look at this one. Is ongoing. I'm going to give you all the key words here, all the important points that you have to remember, that this is what a teacher, this is what a teacher is all about. What's teaching, what's education, okay? All right, ongoing efforts, develop potential holistically and integratively, be balanced and harmonious. SEPI means spiritual, emotionally, and we have physically and intellectually. All right. All right, and then we have believe in God, and then you become a teacher. It's not about you become a teacher, but you provide education so that the citizen will have, like, they are knowledgeable and competent, and then they have this one, achieve high level of sejahtera. I would call it sejahtera in well-being, because the word sejahtera means more than, it's like it's complete, right? Okay, and then we have contribute to the harmony and betterment. All right, so these are the things that we are going, when we become a teacher, these are the things that we have to really look at into our practice as a teacher. Right. So these are the criteria. So these are the goals. Okay. So we can see from that education philosophy, actually we have the criteria and we have the goals. We have the mission and we have the vision. So these are the things that we really have to look into. All right. No matter what policy, no matter what programs that Ministry of Education come out with, but they are always rely on this national education philosophy. So it's better for us to really know and understand what behind this. Okay. All right. So this is Malaysian Education Blueprint 2013 and 2025. All right. So we are now in the third wave. All right. For this Malaysian Education Blueprint, and for your information, SISC Plus, the existence of SISC Plus comes with this Malaysian Education Blueprints. Okay, so that's why we are here until 2025 to make sure that the Malaysian Education Blueprint really like work. Okay, and to help it to happen, all the plans. Okay. All right, so so these are the things that very important things that we as teachers we have to understand. Malaysian Education Blueprint under Chapter 4 and 5. Chapter 4, student learning. Chapter 5, teachers and school leaders. All right. Okay. So what do you need to be a teacher? Okay, I am going to pose these questions. If you want to answer me or respond, that would be even even better. Okay, if you want to share your points of view. Okay. By the way, I just want to make sure how many of us here going to go out for practicum soon, and when is the practicum date actually? Maybe Shazwan can answer, or
We all going to go for practicum, the online teaching practicum.
okay, I
I
understand.
think in the early March.
All right. Okay, so for how many? For what about the duration? For how long?
2 to 3 months, I guess.
2 to 3 months. Okay. All right. So what do you need to be a teacher? So what do you need to be a teacher? Let's see.
What about realistic and realistic goals, sincere goals?
Realistic goal. All right.
Mm-mm.
a sincere the way. Is it like to finish just to finish the practicum, or what? What do you need there?
I'm sorry, Doctor. We were losing you just now. Can you repeat that again?
Or no, I said okay, it's okay. Let's just proceed. Okay. So I would like to share with you the concept of transformation schools 2025, because I believe most of you will be um, in TS25 schools, because most schools are now TS25. Why is it at TS25? TS25 means Transformation Schools 2025. That means that by 2025, all schools are So I just want to highlight, okay, this is the framework of the S25. So at the end of the schooling, so we have to make sure that murid itu menjadi and sekolah itu berkualiti. And of course, I would like to highlight on the guru berkualiti, because you are going out there to be a quality teacher. All of you will be quality teachers. All right. It's not like the normal teacher. You should have all the qualities. So we are going to understand what does that to do with our practical and also practicum, and also what is happening in school right now. Okay. All right. So when we talk about to become a teacher, as a teacher, these are the three things that you have to understand. First is the curriculum, and then pedagogy and assessment. That makes a quality teacher. Means like it's not like you know that and it automatically become a teacher, a quality teacher. What I mean is that you have to know a curriculum, you have to know the pedagogy, and you have to know the assessment. Okay, let's look at this one, curriculum, right? Because I am not going to like focus on like specific curriculum, because I'm not sure which year you are going to be given by the schools, but I want to just share with you curriculum where you can get it from here. Are you familiar with this one, with this website? Are you familiar with this? Have you ever visited this website?
Yes, Doctor.
All right.
Yes.
Okay,
Bahagian
that's good. That's good. This is for bahagian pembangunan curriculum.
curriculum.
Right. So you can get everything, anything about curriculum here. All right. So if let's say you don't have the hard copy with you, you can always get it like soft copy here. You can get everything here. Okay. So always refer to BPK. When you go out to school later, so you don't, if you are given the task to teach certain classes or certain year, you have to go straight to this BPK to go and search for curriculum. All right, so you have to work very smart instead of asking teachers, because you will lost. I mean, you will lose that moment where you go and get your teachers. You always like going and ask here this and that. Okay, because of this at this time. Okay, dah rugi satu experience. Okay, but you can always get this from the BPK. Believe me, because I am a coach. So I'm not trainer actually, but I'm a coach. I'm a coach. I'm providing coaching and mentoring. So it's more like my job is to unlock the potential of teachers. Okay, but surprisingly, after so many years, teachers tend to, not all, but the one that I've been coaching and mentoring, a few of them, they seem to forget BPK. So if I ask about the SKP, Document Standard Curriculum, they will say, oh, where to get, oh, I forgot to, where to, I haven't printed out, oh, I forgot to bring, things like that. So actually it's everything there, it's just like fingertips, right? So always refer to BPK. It's more valid. Okay, you can get Dokumen Penjajaran Curriculum versi 2.0, Program Transisi Tahun 1 2021. Alright, and then we also have Toolkit PDP for KEBAT 2020. Everything's there. And you can also download bahan sokongan pengajaran dan pembelajaran. So when teachers questions about how to go about teaching during this pandemic and how what to teach and where to get the materials, so I always ask them to go back to VPK and see what they have there, because this is also the products of a teacher's products. Okay, all right, and then we have pentaksiran bilik darjah. Okay, this is also another things that you have to be familiar with. I'm not sure in UNIZA, but in pentaksiran bilik darjah has been the alternative because we don't have people has have stopped talking about UPSR, right? Even though we are not, it's not been finalized yet, right? We have been looking into pentaksiran bilik darjah because this is more relevant and ongoing process. So this is also an important a kind of assessment that you have to understand. Okay. All right. And then this is they have pelaporan pentaksiran bilik darjah tahap 1 versi. This is the thing that teachers need to just click and fill in, and everything will be generated. Everything, right? And then we have also KSSR tahun 4. Okay, if you are given year 4, then go to this PPK and check for the curriculum. Okay, and then we also have KEBAT, okay, kemahiran berfikir aras tinggi, aplikasi di sekolah. You can even have see, you can have a lot of things. You just like clicking on each and everything and explore. Okay, that's about curriculum. I'm not going to go into specific because, like I said, I do not know which year you are going to teach later. Okay. Now I want to move to pedagogy and assessment because there are a lot of things that we can discuss. If you have questions, you can just interrupt. If I can answer you, I will do my best to answer you and see if my explanation can help you further. All right. So when we talk about pedagogy in this time, no matter PDPR or face-to-face, we always have to remember the concept of 21st century teaching and learning skills. All right. So there are criteria of 21st century. If you can share with me anything about 21st century, what comes into your mind when we talk about 21st century classroom? I believe you have been introduced to this kind of concept, and you have known what is 21st century. Even actually you are, some of you are the products of 21st century classroom and learning. So what do you understand by 21st century teaching and learning skill? Okay, let's put it, what do you understand by 21st century classroom?
I think it is more on student-centered, where the student would be the one who do all the learning activity and not just got fed by the teacher like the traditional method.
Yes, teacher just a facilitator rather than being give them everything. They have to find it. I guess.
Teachers as a a teacher as a facilitator. Yeah, exactly. But at time we also become we have like a lot of codes. You know, sometimes we become a teacher, sometimes we become a facilitator, sometimes we become a mentor, sometimes become a counselor, everything. So basically, we have to remember the concept. Okay, the concept. Okay, so this is the framework for 21st century learning, that which I am not going to explain, but I believe that you are familiar with this kind of framework. See, these are okay. Like we are used to have this everywhere on the internet when we type 21st century learning. Okay, so this is old school versus new school. Now we have new norm. Okay, we have to have another column there, new norm. So how to go about doing that? Okay, we have outcome based. Okay, research driven, active learning, student centered. Yes, exactly like what Shazwan mentioned just now. And then we have integrated curriculum. We have multiple forms of assessment. Yes, multimedia, collaboration, higher order thinking skills. All right. So these are the criteria that we have to always remember every time, from the planning to the practice to the product until the reflection. So that all these criteria should be everywhere throughout the process. Okay, communication. Communication. Sharing thoughts, questions, and ideas, solutions, for example. Like for example, nowadays teachers use, because of this pandemic COVID-19, and they cannot have face-to-face with their pupils, so they always have like WhatsApp, Telegrams, uh, and what else, Google Classroom, and so on and so forth. Okay, so they are real-time communication and they are also offline communication, so we have to understand real time is like now. Okay, it's real time. It's like real time. But teachers sometimes they thought like um, teacher, you know, they have this kind of thought that it's very difficult to get to communicate or to interact with pupils if through WhatsApp or through Telegram. It's actually, you can record yourself. You talk to your pupils and then ask them to interact uh, using their own device, I mean their parents' devices, and so on and so forth, so that the interaction will be there. It is not necessary to have real-time communication, but communication should be there. It's not just sending the question and please copy this one in your textbook or in your exercise book, or please turn to this page and answer this kind of questions, and that's it. Just one-way communication. We call it linear communication. We just ask without having feedback. So we want to avoid from having that. So you as a practicum teacher, so you have to think, you have to be creative enough on how to get your pupils to interact with you. All right. All right. Next will be collaboration, working together to reach a goal, putting talent, expertise, and smarts to work. Okay. This is sometimes this is this is very difficult to do during this pandemic. Uh, so you have to think of how you can get them involved in like projects, for example. Or how do you want to get them involved to collaborate with each other, and critical thinking, creative thinking, uh, and we also have ethics and values. So in uh, schools, we always stress on 4K, we call it 5K1N. 5K1N means komunikasi, kolaboratif, pemikiran kritis dan kreatif, and we have nilai dan etika. And nowadays we are talking about character building. So it's like 6K already, 6C. Communication, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, character building. All right. And we have like all those things. But believe me, all these are the criteria that you should always take into consideration from planning, the practice, the product, and the reflections of your lesson. Okay. All right. So what can you say about this? What do you understand with this picture? Anybody wants to respond? Maybe I can just proceed first, and maybe you have, okay. For a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb that tree. That's why we very like concerned about having to have this one. Why differentiated teaching and learning? All right. Maybe you still like in doubt. Okay. Kejap cakap macam ni, kejap cakap macam ni kan. So you will understand when we discuss about how we can come up with our lesson plan. Okay. So, because every pupil is unique and has a different learning style and pace, every pupil has unlimited potential. So we have to cater, like sometimes we have like mixed ability class. We have a mixed ability class where we have to cater to different groups, the needs of different groups. Okay. Okay, this is, I have to put in Bahasa because this is easy to understand and it is taken directly from TS25, TS25, all right? And differentiated teaching and learning should be, we can see the differentiation in this one, the content, the process, the product, and according to the student's readiness, interest, and learning profile. So the growth, to increase growth, motivation, and efficiency. You can see this one and it's very clear, all right? And what is differentiated instructions? Yeah, you can see. Increase engagement, because if you only have one material throughout the lesson, so you are not catering to like different needs of your pupils, all right? For example, let me just share with you my experience. When I go to school and coach teachers, I have to make sure that they really apply this differentiated teaching and learning process. That means that they should not only cater only the needs of one group, okay? Because they have to really understand and know the differences between, among their pupils, okay? Right, let's get this one. All right, we will go back to this concept, the framework. Okay. All right. So why module 3? Module 3 is about menerajui pembelajaran. We have a lot of modules, of course, but very much related to you as a teacher. In fact, it's very much related to me as a coach of a teacher, because I'm coaching teachers. So this module is very important because it makes, like, it helps to clear all the doubts on what to carry out. Okay, what do you want to know about pedagogy, document standard, and pentaksiran? If you look at here, we start with. Of course, we should have document standard first, and then from this document standard, we will plan our pedagogy, our teaching and learning, our lesson plan, and after that, throughout our lesson, we may want to do assessment. So here, for pedagogy, we talk about PAK 2021, we talk about learning style, differentiated teaching and learning, and we talk about higher order thinking skills, right? Higher order thinking skills. And then there should be 3 parts lesson, all right? And we have formative assessment, summative assessment, and this one, assessment as learning. So all these things, I believe that you have already been exposed in UNISA, and I understand that these are the things that we can put it together. We don't separate it. Okay, for example, if you plan to teach, okay, using 21st century learning, okay, and then you have to make sure that you have to cater different groups in the classroom, all right, and then you have 3 parts lesson, all right. And throughout, you have the assessment to make sure that you achieve the objective. Okay. Okay. This is, I'm not sure whether you're familiar with this one. Have you ever seen this one?
Lesson plan.
Yeah, it's lesson plan and it's ERPH.
Pardon?
This is, we call it ERPH. It has been used throughout Terengganu.
Rancangan pengajaran harian.
Yes, yeah. Okay. So this is rancangan pengajaran harian. Yes, rancangan pengajaran harian, and it is actually they use Google Drive, so it can be accessed by the administrators of the school, and they can even, like, this is like online. They are doing this like online. Okay, that's why you call it electronic rancangan pengajaran harian. So basically, uh, it has been used by all the teachers in Terengganu.
Dr. Yus, if I may ask,
Yeah. Okay.
um, teaching practicum students given access to this also?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. But we have this Excel. If this through like we have access. Boleh guna dengan Excel lah ada. But I'm not sure because I don't think so because but since they cannot have face to face, I think this is
Yes.
also can be used by the school. It depends on the schools. It can be used. It can be used.
Yes.
So I haven't checked with the schools, but since the students will be there and they will be teaching in the school, so this one, and their lesson plan will also be checked by the administrators.
Yes.
So I think this is the platform to
Yeah.
yeah. But the only thing is, okay, this is just about clicking. This is just about clicking. All right. The administrators, the admins of this ERPH, there is a group of teachers. They are experts in doing all these things. So they have made the life easy to teachers. So they just click here and then they can see the content here. So they just click. Okay. So it's easy. I can share this with Dr. later.
Yes. So they don't have to type everything. So they
No,
choose.
they don't have to type, but they can also, like, they are like certain they can just type, they can just ignore and just can, it's enable for them to type. It's enable for them to type.
So yeah. So it's very user friendly.
Yes, because what the idea is for the teachers not to they can spend more time planning on the lesson instead of
Yes.
typing and referring, because everything is taken from the curriculum standard. So the only things, even the rancangan pengajaran tahunan is there for them to refer to. It's very easy because there is a group of teachers. They are all thinkers. They help teachers to come out with this one, so that the teachers will have more time to spend on thinking or planning on the activities.
Yes.
So I can share with you, Doctor, later.
Okay. Thank you very much.
But maybe the one that I'm going to share is just Excel. It's in Excel file. But when they go to school, the students go to school, they will have the access to this Google Drive where all the teachers, they have this one standard, like everything sent to Google Drive so that the administrator can access and check. All right. Okay. But they can ask the administrators later how do they go about doing their uh, lesson plan. Maybe the school prefer them to just type and send through. I do not know. Maybe they have different ways. So we have to refer to the unless if UNISA requests for the school to use the same PRTs like the other teachers. Okay, all right. So here we have by the end of the lesson, this is the learning objective, and we have the success criteria. I remember last 2 years when I was with a group of students in UNISA, I stress on this success criteria because this is very important. Success criteria is actually the learning outcomes and what the it's not the learning outcome, sorry, what the pupils will achieve on that particular day. And this success criteria is shared with the pupils in the classroom. Okay, so this is basically, let's say this is the whiteboard. So in the classroom on the board, so after you write the date, the time, the title, number of pupils, and you must always remember to share the learning outcomes with the pupils. Okay, so as a coach, every time when I go to school, when I coach teachers, I mean, yeah, some teachers say observation. We don't call it observation because the word observation is so scary. All right, so we call it like it's no observation being made, no grades given, no nothing. It's just like going to the class and help teachers and see what we can improve. Okay, so we always stress on these two things. Of course, the title should be shared with the pupils and also the learning outcome or the learning objectives. Okay, for example, to read and answer comprehension questions, clear. So it has to be shared with the pupils so that the pupils will have the readiness. They are ready to learn about the things. Okay, and they are willing to explore and maybe they would like to respond and interact. Okay, success criteria, this is just my suggestion because we are also following CEFR. So it's like all the word can say, can do, can write, can learn, can read, can. So I just share it here so that the teachers can start by putting the word can. So that it's like the pupils will have the confidence. They have the confidence to make sure that they can do it. That's why when I also suggest, I also share with teachers in schools. I said when you go to the classroom, you don't say today I am going to teach you because sometimes you don't need to teach them. Sometimes they know more than you. So what you have to say is that today we are going to learn. Instead, today I'm going to teach you. Right? Sometimes they know more. All right. Okay. So that's better so that we can learn from each other because we learn from our pupils all the time. We learn from our students all the time. Right. So we have to put ourselves into their shoes. Maybe they know better certain they may not know everything, of course, but maybe certain topics or discussion, they may know more, right? So that's why I always suggest to my teachers that we should say or we should start our class by saying today we are going to learn instead of today I'm going to teach. All right. Okay. So, okay, success criteria, we can just say, okay, by the end of this lesson, we can do this, we can do that. So it's like we are giving like hopes and expectation, hopes, and we believe that they can do such activities. Okay, but actually, success criteria is actually the activities that we are going to carry out to achieve the learning outcome. So basically, that's the idea of success criteria. Okay. Next. This Standard Quality Pendidikan Malaysia. Okay. Since you guys are going out there to become a teacher, even though it's a practicum teacher, I believe soon or later you become a teacher, right? You become an educator. So you have to know that in Malaysia, we have the Standard Quality Pendidikan Malaysia. We call it SKPMG2. If your parents are teachers, if your uncles, aunts are teachers, then maybe they talk about SKPMG2, right? It depends on teachers. Sometimes they look at this as, if this how you think about it. This standard quality is not meant just meant to look at to see if we reach the standard or giving marks. Normally they say, oh, this is just pencerapan and I will get a score out of that. Yes, of course. But we have to look at different angle. We have to look at the different perspective. Why do we have this standard? So that we can achieve the standard that has already been aligned. All right. So here we have a lot of standards. But I am only going to focus on standard 4, pembelajaran dan pemudahcaraan, because that is very related to us as a teacher. So in this standard 4, okay, standard 4 pembelajaran dan pemudahcaraan, this is where we have penyataan standard. Guru berperanan sebagai pemudah cara dalam pembelajaran dan pengajaran. PDP. Okay. Pemudah cara, means facilitator, yang berkesan untuk memperkembangkan potensi murid secara menyeluruh dan meningkatkan pencapaian murid pada tahap optimum secara berterusan. If we want to reflect to our national education policy, it's there, it's everywhere there. You see, the potential, holistic, right, and ongoing. That means teachers should not say, okay, I have done my best. That means it has never been the best, because it is ongoing process. Okay, because sometimes I just share with you, and I normally we go to school when we coach teachers where the school the performance of the performance is not good. So when we go there, normally teachers will say, oh, kita dah buat habis dah, kita dah buat, we do our best. Dah budak tu tak boleh. Never blame the pupils. That's that's always the because if we blame the pupils, it will come back to us. Have we done our best? Have we catered to their needs? Remember, because one size does not fit all. That's why when you prepare your materials, you have to make sure you have like for weak student, for mediocre, for the excellent students. So because they have different ability. So you have to make sure. All right. So in order to make sure that we reach the standard, we have these 6 aspects, because aspect 4.1, guru sebagai perancang. What is that? You as a planner, how do you plan your lesson plan? How do you plan your lesson plan? Okay. Do you have differentiated teaching and learning? Do you plan for differentiated teaching and learning? So you have to make sure you can plan well. So guru sebagai perancang, guru sebagai pengawal dia is nothing to do with pengawal. This is, you control the lesson. How do you control the lesson? Okay. Guru sebagai pembimbing, as a coach. Alright. Guru sebagai pendorong. Guru sebagai penilai, and guru sebagai pembelajar aktif. And just to share with you the secret, when we look at the SKPMG2 the teachers SKPMG2, we can see the correlation here, 4.4 and 4.6. If the teachers are not supportive, then the pupils will not be active. It cannot be here very supportive, but the pupils are not active. All right. Okay. So let's look at this one. I have here. I have like I would like to share with you what does all these aspects, each and every aspect means. Okay. 4.1.1 guru sebagai perancang, right? Guru merancang pelaksanaan PDPC secara profesional dan sistematik. So you must make sure you have RPH with objective and activity pelajaran. Since you are going to use ERPH, everything is there, but just make sure that you do the right thing right. Just because sometimes, because it's so easy just to click on tajuk lain, objective lain, activity lain. So we can see from there that you have to make sure it has to be aligned. And then menentukan kaedah pentaksiran dalam PDPC. That means for each and every part, if it is not necessary to have assessment everywhere, maybe you just want to assess during the production, maybe you want to assess during the practice. All right. So, but you should have pentaksiran. This is what we mean by pentaksiran bilik darjah. It's ongoing process. It's not like summative test. All right. It should be ongoing process. Okay. And then we have, this one is just like a checklist. That's why I always ask my teacher, or I always suggest them, I advise them not to look at this as something that scary, but take this as your checklist. Make sure you have all these things, you will selamat. Okay. If you have ABM, okay, a BBM, TMK. Now we cannot have really, we can only have on like virtual. Right. Here menetapkan bilik ruang bengkel. Okay, this is the thing. Alright. And then guru mengawal proses pembelajaran secara terancang. This is what guru sebagai perancang. Okay. So how you carry out this isi pelajaran, the scope, and then PDPC selaras dengan aktiviti pembelajaran, and memberi peluang kepada penyertaan murid yang aktif. Alright, and then we have murid guru mengawal suasana pembelajaran secara profesional dan terancang. Communication, again, communication, PAK21. One of the criteria is here, communication. And then mengawasi pelakuan murid dalam PDPC. Menyusun atur kedudukan murid selaras dengan aktiviti pembelajaran, mewujudkan persekitaran pembelajaran yang menyeronokkan. Right? So I know what's in your mind, how to carry out all this activity at this time. How to carry out. Okay. Guru membimbing secara profesional dan terancang, dia memberi tunjuk ajar, menguasai isi panduan, menguasai isi pelajaran, konsep, fakta berkaitan pelajaran. Memberi tunjuk ajar, panduan, menguasai kemahiran dalam aktiviti pembelajaran. Memandu murid membuat keputusan dan menyelesaikan masalah dalam aktiviti pembelajaran. Memandu murid menggunakan, memanfaatkan sumber pendidikan berkaitan pelajaran. Menggabung, merentas, mengaitkan isi pelajaran dengan tajuk, unit tema and so on. Okay. Next, murid mendorong minda murid. Sebenarnya guru bukan murid ni. Guru mendorong minda murid dalam melaksanakan aktiviti pembelajaran secara terancang. So you encourage them to communicate. Okay, you encourage them to collaborate and to carry out the activities. All right. You always ask them questions that boost their creativity and critical thinking. And then you always ask the questions, ask them to find the solutions, maybe, right? Always give them opportunity, right? And always ask questions that related to the lesson. And they can also get it like self-assessed learning. Nowadays, in this kind of, at this time, more teachers use self-assess. We assign, okay, so what I can suggest to you, you can serve, you have to explore all the website or the things that can help you in teaching, and you can share with them, they can explore themselves, but after that, come back to you, and you will have the activities, you can ask them questions, you can ask them what their opinions on certain website, maybe certain like activity that you ask them to check on the internet. All right, so that you can encourage them to do the activities. All right, here guru mendorong emosi. This is another thing. You have to encourage them, to always give them pujian, menggalakkan, the positive. Okay, and then all these things, give them credit, their work, confidence. Dan guru melaksanakan penilaian secara sistematik. This is assessment. 4.5.1 is assessment. Guru menggunakan pelbagai kaedah pentaksiran dalam PDPC. Okay, so to assess, we can do it through observation, oral. We can also like through their work. So we have varieties of the way we can assess our pupils' work. All right, and then we have remedial or enrichment activity, latihan, refleksi, membuat refleksi PDPC. Reflection, sometimes based on my experience, sometimes I feel teachers they forget to write reflection, but reflection is very, very important. I shared with my teachers, if you want to do reflection, you just ask 3 questions. What went well? What went wrong during your lesson? And what to improve or how to improve. And if we talk about nazir, penaziran, we want something that can be measured. For example, if you have 35 pupils with you, let's say 30 of them, they did well, okay, they were able to answer all the questions correctly, but what happened to another 5? So you have to mention 5 of them, you gave them the remedial work, for example. Okay, so that's what I meant by that 3 questions. What went well, what went wrong, and what to improve. Okay. All right. But and at this time, believe me, I have received like response from teachers. They are very worried because if they have 25 pupils in the classroom, only 5 of them are going to be very active, or maybe 10 at certain schools. Okay, so some of them, they shared with me, they prepared module so that the pupils can continue working at home. Okay, it is not necessary for them to do online. So I will share with you this PDPR so that you can understand. It is not always about online. It is not always about internet stuff, right? Okay. So here, 4.6.1 is about pupils. Okay, memberi respon berkaitan isi pelajaran. So normally, when we do assessment or when we do the monitoring of the teachers' teaching, we will look at this one, right? Of course, we have to look through every aspect, but this one we can always relate to teachers' teaching. If the pupils are responsive or whether they are collaborative, how about communication? Is it one-way communication? Is it like they really interact in the classroom? Okay, and then how do they respond? Is like the question posed really trigger them to think creatively and critically? All right, is that problem solving really challenging? Really like encourage the pupils to think critically and creatively, right? And then mengaitkan isi pelajaran dengan kehidupan murid. Yeah, this is very important in contextual learning. It's like we learn in context. Okay, membuat keputusan misalkan masalah berkaitan aktiviti pembelajaran. So when we go for monitoring, coaching, and mentoring, we always have this as our instrument to help teachers improve their lesson. Okay, but we are not going to stress, like as a coach, we don't like giving them everything, but of course for this particular visit, we only want to look at how the guru sebagai pendorong. Okay, the next visit we'll see how the uh, guru sebagai pembimbing, so they will not feel pressures. Okay, and that is just what we learn throughout our experience. Okay. But of course, with Nazir, they go to school, they will have this one instrument, the whole thing, they will check, they will see if the teachers have reached the standard. Okay. So it is good also, Dr. Ishamudin, maybe this one also can be one of the instrument for UNISA to also like refer to, maybe not
Yes.
all, maybe like part, I don't know, but this is what we are looking into teachers to make sure that the quality education being provided to students. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, so this is just ulasan, we have this ulasan, but like I said, we have visit. We don't go there like one off. We have series of the visit. So every time we will look at different aspects until the teachers reach all standard 4. Jadi dia ada standard, dia ada klik. Yang ni pun dia pakai online, dia pakai generated, computer generated. So we just click here. Actually, this is document, Word document kan, Word. But we have the computer generated system. So we just click, it's automatically counted lah, calculated. I can show, I can show it later. All right. So apart from this pedagogy and assessment and curriculum, in school we also very much stress on professional learning community, PLC. Okay, so this is very important to improve our teaching and learning. And then we have if there is no sharing, there's no teaching, according to David. Okay. So if you want to teach, you have to share. All right. Sharing is caring. I always tell my teachers, sharing is caring. And we also have teacher sharing sessions. And it is not necessary to be in a meeting room. It can be anywhere, everywhere. Right? In the canteen, in the staff room, everywhere. Okay. So what do they discuss? What do they share? Like for example, if you have like problems in teaching, you may want to bring this matter to your friends and they will give ideas. So you share. Okay. And nowadays, WhatsApp groups have been very active when teachers start like expressing ideas, expressing feeling, everything that we start to share. And some teachers will give like like senior teachers, experienced teachers, they give ideas. And young teachers, they share how the technology can help improve the senior teachers' style of teaching. So they work collaboratively. Yeah? So here we have the strategies. And here, lesson study, of course, lesson study is not easy to be done at the moment, but it is possible. Like for example, you record your teaching, you record how you teach, even though you teach online. You can record and you can share with your friends, with your group of friends, so they can comment on your delivery, for example. Okay, this is very good actually, lesson studies, because you learn from your mistakes, because you may not realize that you made mistake, but your friends can like highlight and make sure that you improve. Okay, lesson study. Now you can even record. You can use StreamYard, you can use WebEx, you can use Google Meet, you can use Zoom, you can record yourself teaching. You can even share your PowerPoint, you record and you post to your students and get their feedback and make sure that you have the data. That means that you have the feedback, you keep the feedback, all the feedbacks, the response as the evidence that your pupils are involved or interact with you during the teaching offline. We call it offline. Online means if you do live YouTube, for example. All right, and then peer coaching, learning walks, and teacher sharing session. Believe me, teachers in school, they really like to do teacher sharing session, but hardly found lesson study because they feel not comfortable with their friends observing them teaching. All right, but teacher sharing session is everywhere. If I go to school, if I say BPU, PLC, yeah, teacher sharing session. It's always teacher sharing sessions. But it's good. It's good. Right? Learning walk is by the administrator. They will just walk in the morning. They will just walk pass by all the classroom and just to monitor. Okay, they have their instruments, of course, but they will not interrupt the teacher's teaching. This is learning walk. Which is kurang, tak dapatlah the experience. If you are in school, you will notice that the headmistress, the headmasters, the administrators, they will pass by your classroom and see how you handle your class. But they won't interrupt you. If they find, like, for example, especially content incorrect, not appropriate, they will call you and advise, that's all. Okay. So what about PDPR? What about PDPR? I am going to share with you this. I'm going to stop sharing here because I have to share another slide. All right. So far, okay, everybody with me? Okay. All right. So what is
Okay,
PDPR?
madam. I'm fine. Still here.
Okay. Okay. Let's look at PDPR. This is in Bahasa, but it's very easy to understand, of course. And the important thing is what is actually happened during this PDPR. Okay. PDPR. And can you see jadual panduan pelaksanaan jadual? Okay. Alright, so this is panduan pelaksanaan jadual waktu PDPR 2.0. We had 1.0, but now it has become 2.0 because like Shazwan shared earlier, everybody is struggling. everybody is struggling, but it get like better than the first one, because the first one I believe no one was ready on how to go about how to carry out PPT, how to carry out lesson plan, how to, it's like still it was haywire at that time, but now everybody is getting ready, and see how Ministry of Education has come out with this guideline for the teachers to at least to um, to refer to. Okay, alright. So this is by Yang Berbahagia Datin Sri Hajah Nur Zamani Siti Abdul Hamid. So she delivered her this presentation on YouTube, but we can get this there. But maybe I just want to share um, the issue and cabaran. This is the issue. Waktu PDPR yang berbeza-beza, and then pemberian kerja rumah yang tidak terancang dan pendekatan PDP yang tidak sesuai. Alright. So these are the issues and the challenges of jadual waktu PDPR. But believe you are going to school, you don't have to worry, because you don't have to plan for the the jadual, the timetable. Okay, you are given the timetable. You can just they they have come out with jadwal. Just have to teach according to your timetable. Okay, so how to teach? Let's see. This is manual pengajaran dan pembelajaran. So the objective mencadangkan peruntukan masa PDPR yang terancang, sistematik struktur, timbang agar tidak berlaku lambakan kerja rumah. Right? Everybody is sending everything on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Telegram. Right? So this is more organized. They are still working. We are still working very hard to make sure everything is organized. All right. We don't want to burden teachers. We want teachers to see that as something that possible. That's why during 1.0, they have to send their report by the same day before 6 p.m., for example. But nowadays, you can send, they are given even 1 week to report online because of the internet problem. I believe that everybody is having internet problem. I myself, I have to use my own mobile data so that my children can use the whole mobile data. So this is everywhere is the same. Okay, having the same problem. Alright. So rujukan semua pihak yang berkepentingan dalam melaksanakan jadual waktu PDPR bagi memastikan kelangsungan pembelajaran murid. So we just want to make sure the continuity, the sustainability, we want it to be continuous, like ongoing. So we have to make sure that we have to follow this the manual. Okay, membina suasana PDPR yang mesra ibu bapa agar mereka dapat memberi sokongan berterusan terhadap pembelajaran di rumah. Okay, so let's see jadual waktu PDPR. Okay. Right. Penyelarasan RPT. Okay, when you go to school later, you have to ask the head of panels about the rancangan pengajaran tahunan. Okay, because I'm not sure if you Nizam wants to prepare your own RPT, but since you are joining the school, you can always refer to the head of the panels and ask for RPT because they have already planned. So if you come up with a different one, the pupils maybe they will repeat the same thing, or maybe you are too advanced, or they like something that being left. Okay, so you refer to the head of the panels, ask for the RPT for the duration that you are going to be in the school. Okay, because now what we have to do is to support each other. We have to support the pupils, we have to support the teachers, support everybody is having problems and worried if the plan cannot be finished by this year. So you have to always talk to the head of the parents. Okay, right? Because they have already coordinated everything. The thing is here, this one is actually just a sample. That's why they have cadangan, activity and catatan. See, if it cannot be done there, especially I think for English language, we don't have much problems on this kind of things. But normally, like science subject, mathematics, science subject, especially when they have kerja-kerja amali, they cannot do at home. They need to do in the lab, for example, or certain activity that cannot be done at home, right? So they have like notes here. But for English, so far I haven't had any problems. You can still go on. The only thing is you need to have your creativity, how to get connected to your pupils all the time or throughout. And then not all the time inside. Make sure that always you have like keep in touch. All right. Jadual waktu sepenuhnya. Okay, this is the real time. Okay, I'm not sure whether you have followed the talk by Datin Sri, but very easy. You have online. You don't. Your pupils do not have problems with the. Dia semua pakai laptop, semua pakai phone, semua internet tak ada masalah. Information at this moment in Terengganu, throughout Terengganu, none. Tidak ada satu sekolah di sekolah dalam talian. Okay. Alright. I'm not sure with sekolah swasta. Right. Throughout, we are talking about not this one, but this one. Luar talian. Alright. Alright. Situasi sekolah, ratus keterlibatan murid sangat rendah untuk melaksanakan PDPR secara dalam talian. But anyways, if your pupils, they have no problems, let's say you have like, they can access internet, they don't have like 100% of them have devices, then you can, maybe the school has come up with this kind of timetable, right? But normally, so as far as I know, all schools, they come up with this one. Right, jadual sepenuhnya luar talian. Not this one. This one ada sekolah yang gunakan luar talian. That means no peranti, nothing, no internet. So they have to use module guru on call. This one is the green one is peruntukan masa PDP. This one masa tutorial. That means you can ask questions. It's not for example, using WhatsApp, tanya soalan, then later you jawab, macam tu kan. Very easy to understand this. I can also share with you, Doctor. If you have, it's okay. If you don't have, I can share with you, Doctor. And then jadual waktu gabungan of online and offline. This is like yang popular sekali, popular. Alright. Situasi 100% keterlibatan murid untuk melaksanakan PDPR secara dalam talian. Then we have number 1, number 2, right? Tentukan peruntukan masa PDP dan peruntukan masa tutorial. Tutorial means like even though you don't have class at that time, if your pupils ask questions, maybe after that you will attend to answer the questions, something like that. So it is not necessary to be real time. It's not real time communication, but this is what we call offline. Okay, and then guru menentukan kaedah pendekatan, how to This is the thing. How do you want, what is your approach? If let's say, I'm not sure which school you are going to get. Let's say sekolah tu ada masalah devices. So you have to prepare the module too. I mean, you have to prepare module or exercise or hard copy, and you have to make sure that the parents will come and take the materials from the guidehouse, because parents cannot go into the to school compound. They are just allowed to take the materials at the guidehouse. So, and then you check with them on WhatsApp. That's another way of doing that. All right. Then elakkan arahan pada dua laser. This is to avoid. For example, you have different instructions given online, and then later on WhatsApp different instructions, and on the hard copy different instructions. Don't get them confused. Your instructions. Guru on call here means like at any time. I mean during this tutorial. Okay, on call. Menyediakan bahan PDPR membuat semakan hasil kerja murid. But nowadays you can check your students' work or your pupils' work on WhatsApp. You can check your pupils' work on your gadgets. So very easy nowadays. Okay, and then we have online, offline. This one. They have a lot here. PDPR for prasekolah pun ada, but I'm not sure are you going to be sent for prasekolah. I don't think so, right? And then this is pentaksiran bilik darjah. Yeah, the one that I mentioned earlier. This is one of way to assess your students' work, your pupils' work. Rasional pelaksanaan PBD, mengesan dan memantau tahap penguasaan murid secara berterusan, penilaian instruksi guru terhadap kualiti PDPR. This is the recent one, okay? So that's why they have the word PDPR here. If you refer to the one in PPK about PBD, they don't have word PDPR there. This is the recent one. I think this one last February 8. Okay. Menggalakkan keterlibatan murid dalam PDP, memandangkan PPD dinilai secara berterusan. Okay. So that's why it is important when you go to school, you make sure that you have your own WhatsApp group with the parents or with the pupils, because I noticed that some teachers, they have like a big group where all the teachers for that particular class, teachers of the subjects for that particular class, they are there. It's like they are meriah di situ. But I suggest to some teachers who ask for my opinion, I said, why don't you have your own group? Like for example, if you're teaching science, that means only science for that particular group. You and your pupils only. Maybe the parents should also be there. Instead of having all the 12 teachers in the same group, and betul dia pakai jadual, waktu dia pun hantar, but the pupils will get confused one day, the parents will get annoyed, they feel annoying because like a lot of message, everybody tahu nak baca yang mana satu, so you have to work smart, have your own group of WhatsApp group with your pupils only and interact with them. I always tell teachers, why don't you record yourself welcoming them to the group? Instead of, okay, saya cikgu ni, okay, I am your teacher. Okay, of course, I don't know, depends on the background of the family. Some of them, they don't understand English, right? And you have to buat dua language pula kat situ. And then it's okay. But instead of doing that, why don't you record welcoming them, explaining or introducing yourself so that they will say, oh, okay, this is the practicum, right? They will be very happy to be with you in the group, okay? All right, so that would be a good starter. I mean, that good thing to start, right? Okay. And then when they know that you are active, of course, they will always like be with you. Okay. Kalau dulu kat sekolah, murid-murid ni suka sangatlah cikgu praktikal sebab cikgu praktikal ni lain. Memang sangat-sangat sukalah. But nowadays, it's no different anymore. There is no different because cikgu yang bukan praktikal pun it's not easy for them to meet. It's like nak bagi kerja banyak pun dah tak sama Jadi you have to fight with the teachers in school. I mean, fight means like you have to be best, okay? Arouse their interest. Ask them. It's like you are encourage them to be with you, to learn from you, to interact. Okay. And then data untuk membantu guru merancang intervensi murid. And then, for example, you have 25, only 5. So you have to think of how to overcome that problem. Dari 20 tu buat homework sikit lah. Duduk mana, apa masalahnya. You can ask the form teachers, right? And then if let's say, if the solution is, let's say the teacher say, oh budak-budak ni kalau bagi modul baru atau bagi hard copy baru dia buat. Then you have to consider, make sure that you have your journal with you. You write in your journal, make sure that, okay, you have something to write, to explain based on this, very experienced things. Okay. Kaedah pelaksanaan PPD ikan perhatian dia, of course, it's very difficult for you to perhatilah, but you can always ask them. I forgot to share with you here, my friends, she's teaching in Negeri Sembilan. She always shares her pupils sending work on Facebook. I mean, they send to her WhatsApp, but she shared on Facebook. They record themselves, introduce themselves. See, you can start first. You introduce yourself and then ask them to record and send it to you. Right? Okay. That is one of the ways to break the ice. And bertulis, of course, bertulis means either through gadget or hard copy, right? And we sign. All right. Strategi, rancang, laksana, nilai, merekod, rancang intervensi jika perlu. Okay. Right. So this is everybody has his or her own role to play. Right. So here, guru mata pelajaran, because you are going to be a teacher of the subject. Menentukan kandungan kurikulum yang dilaksanakan berdasarkan jadual waktu PDPR. Always refer to your head of panels, ask for the curriculum, ask for RPT. Okay, I'm not sure this PKP sampai bila. Kalau 2-3 bulan mungkin you sempat masuk ke sekolah. Murid tak ada pun you kena masuk mungkin. Okay, I think that's the way. Murid memang tak ada tapi you ada, right? So make sure that the curriculum, you have the curriculum. Normally, when I ask teachers, what do you need to have with you when people come for observation or monitoring or whatever, okay? Except coaching lah, coaching dia tak rasa pressure sangat. Okay, they always say textbook. And I always have to remind them, the first thing that you have to have is DSKP, Document Standard Curriculum. Because there you have everything. Even though in ERP, you just click on all these icons, right? But they have to have their curriculum standard again. The second thing is you need to have RPT with you. Rancangan pengajaran tahunan. Alright. When you go to school, the senior teacher, they have everything on the internet, on their laptop, on their phone, but you print it out so that you can refer to. Okay. And then RPH. And then only textbook. Textbook is a tool. I always stress this, that a textbook is one of the tools. Okay, it is sometimes, remember, because one size does not fit all. You will find that your pupils may not able to do anything on the exercise on the textbook. So you may have to adopt and adapt, or you may have to take from somewhere else. But this DSKP, RPT, RPH, because you have already planned for all of them. So you need to have that, right? So menyediakan bahan PDP tutorial yang bersesuaian dalam masa yang ditetapkan dalam jadual waktu. Cek balik berapa minit dia ada minit-minit ya. Okey. Melaksanakan PDPR berdasarkan jadual waktu yang ditetapkan, mentadbir PBD selari dengan pelaksanaan PDP dan tutorial yang dilaksanakan. That's why when you plan your activity, plan terus your assessment. Nak assess macam mana ni? Like for example, you give the activities that, for example, they have to answer 5 questions. So what is the assessment then? Oh, is it like all of them have to answer correctly? So you have to plan. Jadi mesti kena ada column dekat notes tu, what are the things that you want to assess. Okay. Membuat jaringan dengan ibu bapa, ya. I have a good rapport with parents. You have to introduce yourself. I'm practicum teacher. I will be with your children for beberapa lama. You introduce. Okay, this is all good credit for you. Okay, and then memaklumkan kepada ibu bapa sekali berlaku sebarang perubahan. You have a good rapport. It's easy actually, and you win their heart. You win their children's heart too. Alright, I always believe that. Okay, so peranan, okay, itu sajalah for PDPR. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing this now. Okay. Yeah. Almost done. Okay. Alright. So that's about PDPR. This is the manual. You can get it from BPK. Okay, you can also get it from BPK. Everything you can get from BPK. So we have known that it is important for you to know the curriculum, the pedagogy based on PAK 21 or 21st century teaching and learning, where we have to make sure that all the criteria are there. Communication, collaboration, creative and critical thinking, and also the ethics and values. Okay, when you plan, from planning to practice to product, as well as the reflection, you have to make sure that all the criteria are there, if possible. All right. Okay. All right. So, and we also talk about PBD, pentaksiran bilik darjah. Pentaksiran bilik darjah can be that pre-assessment for learning, as learning, okay, and off learning. So you can choose which one. It is not necessary in one lesson you put all the assessment there. No necessary. Nak buat macam mana? Semua sekali sebab just one at a time, and be realistic. Remember, you are teaching online. They are not in front of you, and don't give pressure. All right. So my suggestion is, okay, let me share with you what is happening in school nowadays. Of course, we are so worried that most students will be like we are scared of the word left behind. We are scared of the word left behind, but we want them to be at par or the same, right? You want them to receive the same education, the same learning, the one that we are going to teach, right? But I just want to highlight the problems in school nowadays, especially for English language subject, even before PDPR. First, the lack of vocabulary. So I would like to suggest that you collaborate with teachers in school. You help them to improve or to enrich pupils' vocabulary. All right. I did share my ideas on my YouTube channel on how to enrich pupils' vocabulary through like learning through learning in context, for example. So you check all the title of the textbook, and from there you extract and you come up with like not a list of vocabulary. It's up to you, But please help schools to and please help the pupils to enrich their vocabulary. All right. I don't know. Is it like quiz, or is it you want to come up with a list of like vocabulary book, but not so many. Sebab kalau banyak-banyak dia tak ingat, because my experience, there was a teacher. He was very good. He came out with 1,000 word list of words. 1,000 words list of words. So he asked his students, his pupils, to find the meanings. It's okay in any languages, but at the end of the day, when the pupils were tested or were asked, they couldn't even remember, because they couldn't associate with their experience. They cannot associate with whatever surrounding. That's why when you plan, you have to make sure that it's like logic and related to them, so they will remember well. Okay, one thing. The second problem is grammar, of course. If you have like tips on how to teach grammar, yeah, why don't you just record yourself, share with them how you learn grammar. For example, articles. Maybe you have like songs or yeah, things like that. So help the school to improve all these things. Okay, all right. These two things, because without words they cannot come up with a good composition. Without grammar, of course, words cannot help. So these two things are very, very important. So think about that. Make a project, collaborate with your friends. I know you have your own schools, but it is okay. Collaborate, like come up with something, share with schools that you like, your groups. Kan, kalau 5 orang, 5 sekolah, semua dapat share, which is very, very good, right? Because I'm in school, then I know what's happening there. All right. So what else do you need to be? What else do you need to be a teacher? This one. Now you have the knowledge, you have the skills, you have to have love. If you don't touch their heart, you will never get anything. They will not, because when they love you, they will love your subjects. I always believe that, because if you to share with you, I was GC, I was I was like GC for both schools, right? And I love my pupils very much, because it's like always have fun with them. Every time when I go into the class, okay, I will make sure that I have stories to tell them, just to arouse their interest. They will, when you go to the class, they will not get, they are not ready. They have like everything, a mess, everything. So I just say, okay, I want to tell a story. Would you like to listen? They will say, oh, okay, okay. And then I say, okay, I give you 1 minute, 2 minutes to keep all this stuff. So every time I will create the story. Adalah story. And then I love to teach English through songs very much. Okay. any songs, the all these like new pop songs, okay, but I have to make sure the lyrics is clean, and I like them. I will train them to perform the songs in front of the crowd. Okay, so you arouse them because you know most of my students they love music, so songs suara tak penting, yang penting you arouse their interest. So you can even do this project online. You give them lyrics of the song, ask them to sing, and then you just combine everything, make it as one project for you. This is like project-based learning, or and then at the same time you also highlight vocabulary in the song, in the lyrics. So there are a lot of ideas to teach and to arouse pupils' interest. Okay, I think before I end, I would like to show you another videos. My achievement throughout my journey as a teacher. Right? Okay. Okay, that's all my sharing. Thank you so much. Any questions or anything? Dr. Ishamdin or Shazwan?
Okay, thank you so much for a wonderful 1 hour of sharing session from you, Doctor. And I bet all of us could really use all the information and knowledge that we have gained to prepare ourselves for our upcoming teaching practicum. Is there any questions is there any question that would like to be issued or to be asked to Dr. Yusnita? We are now in the Q&A session. If there is any, you can just open your mic and ask out.
Doctor,
Okay.
okay, I want to ask, so is it okay if we were able to achieve our objective or our success criteria on that lesson for that day?
Okay, thank you, Tira. All right. Okay, objective is we have objectives. Of course, the objectives should be achieved on that particular day. But if you cannot achieve on that particular day, you can carry forward to the next day. Okay, you can carry to the next day, but you have to make sure that you write in your reflections. So that's the importance of having reflection. Okay, that's why sometimes you have to be realistic. And in fact, at this moment, you cannot have more than like 1 or 2 objectives, okay, for your lesson, because it cannot be achieved. Remember, you have to have objective that is SMART, right? What is SMART? Specific, measurable, attainable, right? And then and also time, right? Realistic and time. You cannot have like before. So you have to make sure. That's why the first lesson you will learn. Oh, dia tak boleh lah. And then you can like adopt and adapt. Make sure that, for example, if you want to give a reading text, don't give like 3-4 paragraphs. One paragraph is good enough. What do you want to test actually? What is your objective? The objective is for them to know how to answer comprehension questions, for example, a WH question, for example. You want them to know how to skim and scan. So that's it. Don't come up with a lot of things. You are not going to be happy. Okay? All right. Any other questions?
Doctor, I would like to ask, you did mention about RPT, right? So if we are going to remove that, we are going to replace that our upcoming class to teach the unachieved criteria. What would happen to the original plan? I mean, the original lesson that we are supposed to teach. Do we need to replace that class, or we just need to keep going with the flow?
All right. Okay, thank you, Shazwan. Okay, why do we have our plan? We plan well because we want to achieve our goal. Right. There's no point of you jumping to other planning if you don't achieve this one. You have to make sure you achieve this one first, only then you move. That's why we call planning. All right. Planning doesn't mean that you have to follow. Of course, you have to follow closely. But in case you cannot carry out based on your plan, you can always like go back or like you can do that. You can do that to make sure that your pupils the objectives are achieved. Okay. Right.
But
The only thing is what you have to do. You go to school. You contact your head of panels. Ask for the recent RPT if they have. Ada sekolah buat, ada sekolah tak buat. It depends actually. Tak semestinya. But if let's say you are given year 4, you contact the teacher, the English language teachers for that particular class, and ask for RPT and ask her or ask him where should you start or where should you continue, so that it will have the continuation. So when you leave later, and she can continue the one that you leave.
I see.
Okay.
So I wonder, we English subject, there are also certain syllabus that we need to cover. So is it okay if at the end of the year, not all the syllabus are covered?
I don't get your question, because when you talk about curriculum, like inside the curriculum we have syllabus, right? And then all the syllabus are planned in the RPT. Okay, so for just to share with you and also Doctor, actually at this time, we are hoping that school teachers, they try to cover whatever that being left in 2020. Like for example, they should cover the topic last year, but because of this MCO, and they couldn't have, and it is very important, they have to carry the things to this year. Right. So that means it's very important to finish the syllabus accordingly, to the extent. See, kalau tidak 2020, kenapa nak bawa mai 2021? Tapi pasal penting, because they will skip, especially, I always believe our language has not, we don't have like big problem that because we are teaching language, and normally the skills are repeated. But for mathematics and science, they have to make sure the pupils cover that particular topic, then only they can move to another topic. Right. Okay. Any other questions?
Madam, excuse me. So you're saying that we don't have to finish the syllable, but just focus on their what is it, grammar, something like that? Is it what you mean by?
I didn't say you don't finish the syllabus. I said you continue the syllabus.
Oh, just continue it.
Yeah, because you are going to be a teacher. You know, you start this month, for the next month. So the teacher has already planned, and the teacher in school, they have already carried out the lesson based on the syllabus. All right, based on the RPT. RPT means curriculum, syllabus, RPT. All right. The curriculum syllabus is in the curriculum standard, and then we have RPT. In school, they have already carried out. They are carrying out. They are having the class right now, right? So if you go there, you are not going to start from the beginning, right? It's better for you to talk to the teachers and ask the rancangan pengajaran tahunan. Rancangan pengajaran tahunan itu diambil daripada curriculum standard dan dalam tu lah ada syllabus. Okay, so then you just ask them, just because you have to continue. You don't have to like buat balik. Do you get me? Maksudnya tak payah. You just focus on 3 months, 4 months that you are going to be there. Make sure that you help the teachers to finish the planning for that particular months that you are going to be there. Boleh ke? Firdaus?
Alright, I understand.
Kita memang kena habiskan syllabus. Kita memang kena habiskan. Kita panggil curriculum standard. Dia ada learning standard, standard kandungan. Okay, semua tu kena habis. Kena habis. Yang tu kena habis. Alright?
Alright.
Alright. Any other questions? Maybe other lecturers also want to add, I don't know, but I just share what we have in schools right now, because we are in schools and we know what's happening right now. Okay. Ada lagi soalan?
Assalamualaikum Dr. Yus.
Waalaikumsalam.
Can I ask question regarding teaching practicum? Because I'll be in charge of teaching practicum for this semester. So regarding COVID, right? Our plan is to do teaching videos. Although we already received permission from JPNT to go to schools, but since it involves movement of our students, we have like this time around we have 99 TESL students throughout Malaysia. So we have to, take care of their SOP as well. So we have made the decisions that they will be 100% online, teaching online. Okay. My plan is, of course, we're going to approach schools in Terengganu, especially Kuala Terengganu and Kuala Nerus, and our students will approach the headmaster or headmistress, right? And then get the RPT, okay? And then will it be possible for the schools to share timetable to our students, or I'm not sure whether this is the right questions, or you are the right questions, the right person.
The right person to ask.
Yeah, to ask. But what is the practice in IPG right now?
Okay. Okay, thank you, Doctor. Yesterday, I believe that most of the school who received teachers, practical teachers from IPG. Yesterday they had a meeting online. Everything is done online. So, but I'm not sure if you have received an agreement with JPNT dah setuju. So to have you guys 100% online,
At the moment, the one that we receive is 100% physical because we actually applied that before the recent PKP ni kan. So yeah, with the recent event, we haven't kita approach JPNT lah. Tapi for yang previous physical face to face, yes, we had the agreement from JPNT to allow the students. Yeah.
Oh, I think it should be okay if you want to reapply for the 100% online. But because I'm not, of course, I'm not the person in charge. I'm not the right person to decide anything. But you can always ask JPN or pengarah. Maybe he will consider that. I see no problem at all to have 100% online. I see no problem at all to have 100% online. Even if the school opens, only teachers are allowed to go. The pupils are still at home, all right? And most of the teachers, they are in schools and they just prepare work for pupils. They plan the lesson, all right? So I think that yeah, the only thing is the practicum teachers of UNISA will lose that experience of being in school and among other teachers. Okay, but this is possible if you want to have 100%. This is just my point of view, but I do believe that JPN will agree if it because we have a strong reason why we don't feel like comfortable to have 100% face to face. But regarding the lesson plan, regarding the timetable, we have to go like accordingly, I guess. Once you get the letter from JPN, you will be given the name of the school. I'm not sure how things will go. I mean, is it like you suggest the school or JPN suggests the school? But you will get the name of the schools. Once you get the names of the school, just contact the head of the schools, and then they will definitely will give to the head of the panels, because the head of the school, they will just assign the head of the panels to in charge. And yeah, definitely you can ask RPT from the head of the panels. And then if you want to use ARPH or your own lesson plan, then it's up to you, Doctor. I mean up to the UNISA. And maybe you can also talk to the headmistress or headmasters if they allow the practicum teachers to use the system also. I'm not sure. That one can be, I think that one is depends on the schools.
All right, thank you, Doctor.
Other questions? I do believe because you will not get the satisfaction of being with the kids. Okay, it goes the same with all the teachers here. They always like saying that how they miss their pupils so very much, and they haven't no matter what we say online or offline, they still hope that they want to meet their pupils. So we just hope that things will get better, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, yesterday was like 2,000 something. It's going like lesser number. Alhamdulillah. All right. Hopefully we all can do our activity like back to normal everything. So is there any other questions?
Perhaps we can allow for one more last question. I see Ainun there in the picture. Ainun, do you want to ask anything?
You want to ask questions? Yes, I do.
Ainun, you have to unmute first. Can you unmute your mic?
I think you need to type right now. Your mic is
Do I have to? What about me? Do I have to unmute? Is it okay?
Your mic has problem, I think.
Dr. Yus, by the way, while we are at it, we can't see your face now in the
Really?
video. Yes, I'm not sure what happened. Previously we could, but now we can't.
Okay, all right. I think, yeah.
Okay, now we can see you.
All right.
All right. So Ainon, are you ready?
My mic is not okay. So you can type. What is the question?
So Shazwan, can we say that this is the last question, or we want to allow for another one after Ainon? It's not every day that you get a special teacher like Dr. Yus coming to us.
Yeah.
I'm just sharing my experience.
Yes.
I feel even though I'm in coaching, I'm doing my coaching right now, but I always love teaching because when I go for coaching, sometimes I will do demonstration, I will do the simulation, so that I believe that sometimes teachers, when they have somebody at the back of their class, one thing they got nervous. Another thing is they wanted to do their very best, but yeah, because they didn't know how to do that. Then as a coach, we will help them like demonstrate on how, especially on teaching of writing. We still have like struggle everywhere. We have numbers like thousands of like numbers failures for writing, but because of that two things that I mentioned, vocab and grammar. So you guys go out there, help schools. It's okay if you are going to do online, no problem. But come up with one project, help schools how to enrich their vocabulary, how to enrich their vocabulary. If possible, something related to Terengganu, something related to schools, local schools. They will be, they will appreciate your hard work seriously. We have English yang Terengganu punya Trenglish, right? But that's only for secondary. All right, all the materials are meant for secondary. We don't have for primary yet. So why not? You guys do something with school.
Yes, that's a challenge for us all.
Yeah, it's true. Challenge to me too. Okay. Ada lagi tak?
Okay.
Kalau tak ada, Ainul cakap, Ainul kata based on, what is that? Can you read, Jazwan?
Based on your experience, could you share your favorite approach or activities to keep the students engaged with the lesson? As for me, classroom management is hard to handle.
Oh, this is good. You know what? First, the first lesson, every time, the first lesson, first bell, first lesson, when I go into the class, I have my rules. I have my rules. Okay, you cannot go out. I mean, they can go out, but they have to stay appropriately. I mean, and then I have like books for them to use. Like they have to use English 1, English 2, and grammar book. Okay, I have such books, and I told them, I said, if you forgot to bring your book, you have to come and explain to me. I will not get mad. I will not get angry. Because I understand you are all old enough. You forget things. Okay, so they know how I handled classroom. The classroom management should be very good. The first lesson, you have to have your own stand already. Okay, you can go out. Okay, you have, but you have to say it properly, and you have to have books. You have to make sure that if I ask you to do English 1, that means you do English 1. Don't do English 2 because English 2 is meant for another things. Because sometimes budak-budak ni dia takut dia buat dalam English 2 and then dia tak hantar English 1. So they will give you like head. I'm okay with that. If they forgot to bring, they came to me, I would say, okay, take this piece of paper and write, go back and staple. But make sure you have to be organized. Right, one thing. And then the third thing is, I like to teach English through music. Sometimes I reward them with short videos, but I have questions, not just showing them the video. All right, I have questions. And sometimes I will, but most of the time I will tell stories. Masuk kelas cerita dulu. Sometimes nothing. It was like jumpa orang dekat traffic lights. I got because they like, you like to listen to stories too, right? So the kids. So oh, I have a story to tell you. And I remember one time, my daughter was there in the classroom. I told stories that I created the story. So, and her friends went to see her and said, was it true? She said, I didn't know because I created the story.
See.
And then later when she came to me, she said, was it true? I said, when? I said, oh yeah, it happened. It was difficult when you have your kids in the classroom because because it's not you telling them lie, but you create a story to arouse their interest so that they will give full attention to you. That's why the importance of love. You have to love your children. You have to love your students, and they will love you. When they love you, they like you, they will come to you. And believe me, I have other friends who are also English language teachers. When the pupils went to see them, they spoke in Bahasa. But when they came to me, they spoke in English. So you can see the difference. Speak English because you have to let them experience the sounds of English. They don't have any other place. And please remind the other people, don't tease other friends if your friends speak in English. And then it will not be good. And you speak to them. I remember I just want to share with you. I went to coach one teacher, secondary teacher. No, that one is another story. This is a primary teacher. The pupils, when I went into the class, the only English words was good morning teacher. One teacher, of course lah. Throughout the lesson, teacher je lah macam dia. Good morning and thank you. Good morning, thank you. In tengah-tengah tu all teaching English using bahasa Melayu. Please don't do that. Okay. So what happened? One of the boys who was sitting in front of me, because I didn't want to sit at the back, I did not want to give pressure to teacher. Normally I would busy with a lot of forms to fill. So I was sitting in front and then the teacher was at the back. And the boy who was sitting in front of me, he asked me, boleh cakap bahasa Melayu tak? He asked me because I always I respond, I ask questions in English. And that class was the last class, I mean the big class. Okay. So the boy said, boleh cakap bahasa Melayu ke cikgu? I said, can you speak English? You can speak English. Budak ni, dia pusing belakang, dia pun cakap kat kawan dia. Tak boleh weh. Tak boleh cakap bahasa Melayu. That means he understands me. He understood me very well. So it is okay if your pupils cannot speak with you, you speak with them. It's okay. All right. I have questions. A question asked to me. Boleh tak kita mengajar dalam bahasa Melayu? Boleh ke tak boleh? I'm talking bahasa Melayu right now. Boleh ke tak boleh? Boleh tak Syazwan?
I think we should focus on teaching them in using English, but it is okay and acceptable if they respond in bahasa Melayu.
Okay.
Because
Okay. All right. So my suggestion is all the classroom language should be in English. Okay, how are you? Can you book, open to this page? Where's your book? The English classroom English we call it. All right. It's okay. They will answer you in Malay. It's okay. But soon or later, dia tahu dah cikgu ni macam susah sikit. They will force themselves. Like for example, they ask me, please teacher, may I go out? That's the famous question. I will ask them, where to? They say to the toilet, teacher. Okay. What for? Stuck. They got stuck. What for? The first time, wash hands. And then a few days after that, wash hand again. So you always wash hands during my class. And then one boy who was like, he had more vocabs, I would say. He said, pee, pee. He asked his friend to say, to pee. I said, you don't tell people you want to pee or you want to poo. What you have to tell people is like, you want to go and ease yourself. That's the proper way of saying that. There's another boy, he was very funny. He said, teacher, I want to do big project.
I see.
So I said, oh, really? Can I go and follow you and see what kind of project? He said, oh, cannot. Because it's like as long as they can save themselves, as long as they can, but of course, you don't have to be so serious. English teachers ni selalu orang kata garang.
Yeah.
We are not garang, but we are strict. But at times, they love us. Believe me, English teachers, people love very much because we can sing with them, we can dance with them, we can play with them. It's like we're serious at the same time. We are also we can make jokes. We smile always. It's like you welcome them. You welcome them. You know, I cannot speak loud when I was in class because I got headache. So they say, oh, what happened? I said, please, because I do not want to. I don't like to scold because I cannot because I got headache. So you have to take care of me. So because they love you, they listen to you, they will ask their friends to keep quiet.
I
You just
see.
assign them to say that. So it is good actually. What you have to do is to love them.
Yeah.
And to speak English with them because they don't have any other places to practice. The only practice is with you. Make that 30 or 60 minutes a very meaningful time for them.
Thank you, Doctor. Based on your experience shared, I could assure and I could confirm that you really love your students. So
I think I have few students in UNIZA. I hope I'm not sure whether they are here. My former ex-students in primary. And thank you. I think that's all. I think Shazwan.
yeah, just,
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Shamuddin and Dr. Shafa, and I'm not sure the other lecturers, but thank you so much, Yuniza, for having me with you, and thank you so much to all these beautiful and handsome teachers. Remember, you have to keep beautiful, always look beautiful. Budak suka sangat cikgu cantik dan cikgu handsome. Alright, always take care of yourself. Make sure that you bring the quality in you, and make sure you put like face to cikgu tu yang orang suka sangat. Alright, so be a committed teacher. Don't become a corrupted teacher. And there are a lot of corrupted and committed teachers with whom you want to choose to be with. Alright, so thank you very much. It's very nice here. All right, thank you so much. I wish you all the best. I'm very sorry. My apologies. Banyak sangat hal tadi dan kalau ada benda-benda yang salah tu, minta maaf. Okay, all the best to all of you.
So,
Everyone, there's a request from Madam Salina
Okay.
to have a group photo. Everyone.
So everyone, I hope everyone can open their camera for a while. We're gonna have a group photo session.
Wow. I love group photo. Wow, all the beautiful teachers. Beautiful and where's the handsome teachers. Okay.
Imagine, Dr. Yus, they're all over Malaysia.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
even Sabah and Sarawak.
Oh, okay. Good.
Okay.
Ni muka-muka cikgu ni.
Ready?
Okay. Madam Sally ni mana? Madam Sally kat mana?
I'm here.
Hai!
Okay, one,
Dr.
two,
Syamuddin.
three.
Dr. Syamuddin.
Dr. Shafa, where are you?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Alright. Okay.
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 Where's Dr. Shafa? Okay. Okay, I managed to snap a few.
Alright.
Alright.
Okay,
Okay, I
thank you
think
so much.
yeah, I think we are done. Thank you,
Okay,
Dr.
all
Yus.
together, let's say
for your
thank
time.
you, Dr.
Thank you,
Yus.
Dr.
Thank you, Dr. Syamuddin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Yus and everyone.